Okay. Gabriela, can you answer letter A? What is your response in the following question? What was your response? What reason are there for getting a student to read the text in English? In this part, you can read the section in which you learn about how to teach you reading. You can open the PowerPoint and reflect on this question.
Okay, what do you have? What I have to answer? The first one, what reason are there
Yes,
for getting students to read the text in English? That question.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. According that we have work with my coworker, we answer this part. What do you prefer, that I read or I share the answer?
Yeah, you answer that question. What for you?
Okay.
What reason are there for getting a student to read the text in English?
Okay, for me, it's important because in that way students get new knowledge, and also they learn new vocabulary in order to communicate with other people.
Okay, good. It's crucial that it's like in Spanish. If we have the habit to read, we increase our vocabulary, right? We cannot use only basic word, right? You increase people increase the vocabulary when you read a lot. It's the same when you read in Spanish. Okay, what do you have, Laura, in this question? What reason are there for getting a student to read the text? What do you have?
From my point of view, considering the English is a universal language and this is part of the curriculum of schools, reading in English has many benefits such as increasing vocabulary. Our brain is ability to deduce new words from the context before even using dictionary, and it also allows us to review many of those that we had previously learned, and when reading are better consolidated in our vocabulary, as well as identifying a structure and understanding a message through a structured learning in classes.
A student can realize how how you can make an idea, right? How they can make an idea. Okay, Lourdes, what do you have in this question? Or not yet? Or are you working? Stephanie, what do you have in this question? What reason are there for getting a student to read the text in English?
Okay. Reading is great because it gives the text and also to the student new vocabulary. This helps the students understand what the word is and how to use it. And also, reading helps the students improving fluency, increasing, developing grammar.
Develop in grammar. They can notice the structure, and they can use they can acquire, for example, idioms, the way another way to say some things, right? Yeah. I'm going to then what's the difference element of English can a student study in a written test? Do you have that equation, Laura? Or we
What teacher, letter B?
yes, letter B. What do you have, letter B?
I have vocabulary, grammar structure, phonics, spoken words, and fluency.
Fluency. Good answer. Marcelo Espinosa Alvarado. Who is Marcelo Espinosa Alvarado?
Miss, I have problems with my computer.
Ah, Gabriela. Ah, no, Gabriela no. Vivi.
So I'm
Who is?
Yes, is Viviana. She has problems with the
Ah,
computer
okay.
because, yeah.
Okay, Vivi, there is no problem. Okay, what different element? What do you have? Any another? Do you have another answer? Dear student, are you agree with Laura? What different elements of English can a student study in reading tests? Lourdes?
It could be
Yeah, it's same. I also have the same.
Gabriela?
maybe recognizing different grammatical structures, organization of a text, vocabulary, grammar,
Good.
the relationship between the paragraphs and sections.
The order of a story. Good. And now, let's go with complete the following sentences. You have here. This is personal, right? When I learned a foreign language, reading was... Stephanie?
Yes, I'm going to check. Was difficult to understand, and in some cases, the reading was boring.
The readings that you learned with your teacher was the readings were bored, right? And Stephanie, I think reading in a foreign language classroom is
One of the most important skills that learners must to develop.
Must to develop. Okay, for you is that. And a student need to learn how to read
With comprehension.
for you with comprehension. Gabriela, what do you have in this?
Sorry, in which one?
Number 2. When I learned a foreign language, reading was?
Let me see. And I learned foreign language, reading was difficult, maybe.
Was difficult for you?
Interesting.
Was difficult for you when you learn at the beginning, when you start learning?
No, not really. For me, no. But I think for my students, reading it's a little difficult, but the other skills are more difficult.
But this is about
Reading,
you,
no.
for example, when I think
about me, no.
it
was interesting.
You learned reading and it was interesting for you. In my case, because I'm 45 years old, me it was bored because the methodology was different like now, right? And B, Gabriela, letter B.
Letter B, I think reading in a foreign language classroom is in a foreign language classroom is, it could be boring.
Bored.
Because for me, okay, I'm giving my opinion. For me, I
As a
don't like
teacher,
it to read.
okay, as a teacher must be dynamic. But
yes, but for my personal opinion, I think that is no. I don't like to read, really.
You don't like reading. You don't like
no.
Okay. Okay, and letter C?
The students need to learn how to read. How to read, I don't know. What it refers to? The students need to learn how to read stories, maybe? How to read
Okay.
long text. I don't know. I don't get it.
Claro, analicen qué es lo que para ustedes, qué un estudiante necesita para aprender a leer. Acuérdense que van, hoy día estaban trabajando en esto, tienen que ya tener listo, ¿verdad? Entonces ya para subirlo, terminan la clase y lo suben. Entonces, ¿qué piensan ustedes que un estudiante necesita aprender? ¿Qué necesita aprender para leer?
Vocabulary.
A student need to learn how to read. ¿Cómo le pondrían ahí? A student need to learn how to read. Try to complete. Or how to read. How to read what? Something that is necessary. Estefania, Laura, Vivi.
In my case, I have students need to learn how to read not just words but context.
I like your answer. Yeah. A student need to learn how to read not only words. Recuerden que con una palabra los chicos no hacen nada. Siempre enséñenle, porque esa era la manera tradicional de antes. Nosotros no somos tradicionales. La manera de antes era que las palabras, nos enseñamos. ¿Y qué hacemos con las palabras? Nada. ¿Verdad? Entonces, algunas respuestas las pueden tomar de la explicación que di, del PowerPoint. So, a student now, they need to learn how to read in context. Sometimes they don't know a word, a simple word, but if they have the idea, they can understand, right? They can comprehend the idea. It's a good answer, Lorna. It's a good answer. Reading context, not only a word. What kind of reading, Vivi, what kind of reading should a student do? Complete the following chart as many examples as you can think. Authentic material appropriate for beginners, elementary student. What do you have, Vivi?
Short story.
For elementary students, authentic material appropriate for beginners, short stories.
For beginners.
Also tales.
Tales, short tales for beginners. What else? Lourdes, authentic material only for beginners or elementary students. Short stories. I have one.
Short dialogues.
Or short
And
sentences. Right? Just short sentences, right? It's not like a big paragraph. But I think that elementary or beginners can start reading short sentences, okay, that are connected with some words, but not a big paragraph, okay? What else? Do you have another idea? An authentic material not appropriate for beginners, elementary student.
Articles with sophisticated vocabulary.
Or, good.
Research articles.
What else?
Novels, for example, with advanced themes and language. Classic literature. Those could be.
Good. Very good. Lourdes? Laura? Authentic materials not appropriate for beginners?
Newspapers.
Newspapers, right? Newspaper is authentic material. So I think that in authentic material appropriate for beginners could be quotas, short quotas, right? That could be good for elementary students. Short passages with a good message, right? With positive message. That is authentic material. An authentic material not appropriate for beginners? Examples? Newspapers, you said. What else?
Magazines, mails, brochures.
Magazines could be too hard for them. Too hard. It's too hard for them. Do you think authentic material like publicity for elementaries, beginners, publicity could be good? What do you think?
Yes, it could be. Students can read ads, maybe.
Yeah, because publicity they are like a heading, like a title, so it's not hard for them. This is authentic material appropriate for beginners. Okay. Now here you have. Rewrite this sentence so that it accurately reflects your own point of view. When reading in class, a student should only be given texts which are authentic. What do you have here? Is that true? Your own point of view. Laura, what do you have?
I have that using authentic materials in class help students feel they understand the real world and are active members of the English speaking community. And also the learners will need the deal with real text, so the teacher is giving them essential tools for living and learning autonomously.
Good. Lourdes, what do you have? Thank you. It's a good opinion. It's better to teach something that they can practice in a real life. Okay, when you are teaching vocabulary, you are showing something. Show the product. If you are teaching about a product, show them the product. It's better that they imagine something that they can use it in the world, right?
So,
Lourdes, what do
and
you have?
books. Books are also considered as authentic material.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the readings that they do in class is readings that they have in their books.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we try to find similar texts, so according to their level. But it's difficult to find something that according to the student's level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. For example, when you are teaching your reading class, you can read with them something about actress or actors, or not only actors and or someone special, but you can teach about characters, historic characters, right? It's important that they can learn about culture. So that is authentic material too, right? If you can read about a poet, right? About a poetry, you can teach. That is a real, that is authentic material too. What do you have, Bibi and Stephanie? About this question? I think it's better. It's better to teach with something that they can use in their real life. They can practice, for example, conversation when if they're going to the restaurant, they how can ask for something, right? But that is speaking, but they can read a conversation. That's for me is good that they can learn. Stephanie and Stephanie, what do you have in this question, in this item? Stephanie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Authentic tests focus mainly only context and meaning and not on linguistic forms or other structures. Apart from that, authentic materials can present the readers with cultural message as well as prepare students for so I call pleasure reading.
That's and it's a pleasure reading, right? Because they can realize how the word is. Good, very good. We are agreed. Everyone's are agreed. Make a list of reading texts which will be appropriate for a student who are performing one of the following skills. Make a list of reading texts which will be appropriate for a student who are performing of the following skills. Scanning. For scanning, you have to find a reading test, at least one or two.
A story?
Scanning, when you have a story, you're scanning. And skimming, a story too.
Yeah, we can use story for both.
For both, or
So the technique is different, but
you can use the technique in both. On fairy tales, obviously, right?
Blogs.
And reading for detailed information.
Advertisements.
Advertisement or publicity.
Yes.
It's the same. And reading for pleasure.
Novels. Tales.
Comics for
Yes.
teenagers. Good. Okay. And what are the principles behind the teaching of reading? What are the principles behind the teaching of reading? What would you expect to get out of a good reading? As a teacher and as a student. You're going to tell, okay?
Maybe to develop comprehension skills, because the students can learn and understand information, identifying main ideas, inferring, and make connections between different parts of a text.
That is that you expect as a teacher. You expect
Yes.
as a teacher, okay, that your student can reach that goal, okay? Your student can be able to do all the things that you say, right? So they can comprehend and can make a, after the reading, they can make a paragraph, follow the model, because when they read, they can learn how to make a paragraph and try to make the difference between the part of a story, parts of a story. And as a student, what do you expect after a good reading? What do you expect as a student? For example, if you are learning a new language, after a reading, what do you expect?
Maybe improve a global perspective as a student, because English is spoken in multiple countries and regions.
Good. For example, a long time ago when I was studying, I taught German too. Obviously, because I'm working as an English teacher, we practice because we are teacher, we practice English all the time. But now I'm not practice German. But if I were studying German, I expect after a reading class, after a German class, a reading class, I expect to catch some idioms in German, right? As a student, I expect that. When I read, in fact, when I study English at the beginning, I tried to catch some idioms, right? Another way to say things. That's was interesting for me. And you, if you were learning another language as a student, what do you expect? Stephanie, Lourdes, Gabriela, if you were studying, for example, in my case, I was checking some old Germany books, and I remember that I always wanted to learn some phrasal verbs or other ways to say things. So as a student, what do you expect?
For me as a student, to understand what I read, that would be the most important.
Okay, for you,
To understand any text that I read, to learn more vocabulary.
To learn more vocabulary. Okay, good. Laura, for you, what as a student, what do you expect after reading?
I have to improve vocabulary, identify grammar structure, recognize phonics, understand words, and improve my fluency.
Improve your fluency. Okay, after when you are reading. Okay, and here, what have you following concept got to do with using reading text? What have the following? We already done this. Active skills. Are you agree with that? Engagement and prediction. What have the following concept got to do? ¿Qué cosa tiene que ver con una clase de reading? Que haya un buen engagement, algo que les guste a los chicos, ¿no? ¿Verdad? Y prediction sería para mí lo primero. Lo primero sería un engagement, ¿no? ¿Verdad? Un buen reading que les guste. Y prediction también. Un active skill. Siento que también es appropriate task, ¿no? Porque usted le puede presentar un reading, ¿verdad? Siento que appropriate task también es más que active skill, creo que va más con appropriate task, porque recuerden lo que nosotros hemos aprendido, las readings, ¿se acuerdan que, y es bueno discutir, que estábamos, no, que sí, que me decían, pero mi esto, el otro. Entonces, lo que les decía, si hacen su clase de reading puede estar muy buena, pero también tienen que hacerle la destreza, o sea, la hoja de trabajo, correcta, como les decía. Si es un match, hágale un match para que entienda la lectura, ¿no? Dentro de la hoja de trabajo, usted puede hacer varias destrezas. Le puede poner el cause and effect, que ya lo aprendió. Después le pone, con el cause and effect, le pone answer the following question. Ese es otro ítem, ¿no? Y abajo de pronto le pone otra destreza de reading de la que hemos aprendido, ¿no? O sea, hay otra estrategia, ¿no? Dentro de una hoja de trabajo pueden haber varias estrategias. Puede haber un match, puede haber un complete the sentence, read the paragraph and complete the sentence. Esa es otra estrategia, ¿verdad? Entonces, eso era lo que yo quería que diferencie. Igual vamos, después del break, we're going to have a break. Les quiero enseñar algunos de mis planificaciones para que tengan un poquito más así como una idea. Igual ustedes ya saben, ¿no? Pero enseñarles un poquito de lo que yo hacía para que, cómo planifican en otras partes también, ¿ya? 15 minutes of break, 15 minutes of break. See you in the second part of our workshop. Vivi, Laura, it's raining. I'm going to show you, this is my weekly plan that I used to do in a long time ago, but this is a weekly plan. It's not, this is an example. Stephanie, Bibi, Lourdes, can you see my screen?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Lourdes, can you see my screen? Vivi,
Yes.
Gabriela?
Yes, Miss. We can see the screen.
Okay, this is something that they used to do. This is a weekly plan. That school asks us to do the weekly plan. Here you have the day. You have to put we used to plan with a colleague, right? Here you have the name. Here you have the name, Tanya and Dalia Aguilar. That is something. It's an example. That is third grade, builder, farmer, explorers, reporter. That is the sections. The name of the grades. Okay. Objectives. You have the objectives. Student will be able, and this is the words that you can put is with T too, right? Students like this. You can put students like this when you are planning. Okay. A student will be able to learn about other countries. The topic is this is the unit of the book, right? This is the book unit. Places around the world, reading, palms. I had to put the pages. The big question. We used to put the big question during the month. I used to put it on the walls like with a big paper. And this is the big question. How can you learn about other countries? Because the topic in the entire week was that how can learn about other countries, and we paste the big question on the walls on the bulletin board, and that is the big question for that week. In fact, the English coordinator checked the classroom, and they had to notice that all the teachers do this, right? Language that the student we're going to learn is question marks, learn to tell time, what time is it, all those, the language that the student we're going to learn in that unit, in that week, for example. The phonics that the student in that week we're going to learn. Control vowel, vocabulary words, write a letter to pen pals. Okay, focus on this. Write about family, celebration, a game, or a vacation. Writing, you have the vocabulary to writing, around war, warm, story, vegetable, cabbage, all the vocabulary that the students were going to learn in that unit. Look at this. That school, the school that I always mention, had used to have the English in some skills, vocabulary. Here you have the big question. The big question is connected with the reading. This is the vocabulary class. The first day of the week we have vocabulary class Monday. Monday we have, I remember that, because Tuesday we have reading. Before a student read, they have to know the vocabulary. In that class, the first day of the week, we have a vocabulary class. This is the motivation. This is the motivation for a vocabulary class. Motivation. Can you please read, Lourdes, the motivation that we did with my colleagues? Motivation. What is the motivation for a vocabulary class?
Vocabulary 3-hour motivation. Make a puzzle and have children find countries: Ecuador, Nigeria, Japan, Ireland, Peru.
Make a puzzle and have children find countries. Maybe I remember that I put some countries around the classroom, right? Right. Introduction. This is introduction. Gabriela, can you please read the introduction of this vocabulary class? Gabriela. Introduction for this vocabulary class. That is an example. We're giving example of vocabulary class. Gabriela. Knock, knock. Estefania, can you please read the introduction? Introduction. Estefania.
Introduction. Based on the word vocabulary flashcards without the name words, ask to describe them. Ask some students to match the name with the correct picture and definition. Paste those words on a big paper. Motivate students. Tell sentences using each vocabulary word. Underline the new words.
Paste on the board vocabulary flashcards without the name word. vocabulary flashcard without the name word. Ask to describe them. Ask some student to match the name with the correct picture. ¿Okay? Quizá fue que peguen el país, ¿no? Que peguen, o ahorita no sé el libro, pues no, porque eso fue hace tiempo. Entonces, que peguen el país con la palabra correcta, ¿no? También pueden hacer en una clase de vocabulario, ¿no? Para los niños es que una pelotita y van pasando la pelotita y donde para la pelota, ahí hace la oración, la pequeña oración con la palabra, ¿ya? Entonces es importante que no enseñe la palabra, o sea, obviamente ya cuando haya enseñado con figuras qué significa esa palabra, usted modele la oración, haga la oración primero. Ejemplos con la palabra, ¿no? ¿Verdad? De pequeñas oraciones con la palabra y luego de eso, que las pone en la pizarra, haga el juego o haga la introducción, la explicación. Entonces, ¿cuál es usted coge y pasa la pelotita y donde para, stop, when you stop the ball, es como tingo tango, ¿no? Entonces, ya el niño mira cómo ha hecho la profesora la oración y puede hacer una oración similar, pero ya está usando la palabra en una oración, que es solamente aprenderla sola. Entonces, lo importante es que en los primeros años usted enseñe, es muy importante las oraciones, para que ellos vayan haciendo sus ideas y ya cuando estén ya en otros niveles, obviamente ya pueden ir a hacer un párrafo, porque si usted enseña palabras solas, ellos no van a aprender a hacer párrafos más adelante. Tiene que enseñar, obviamente, a hacer oraciones y con el vocabulario. ¿Ya? Espero no se vaya la luz, chicos, porque parece como que se me va la luz y está lloviendo muy fuerte. Luego, el activity. Aquí está el activity o work in groups. Laura, veamos, esa fue la introducción, ¿verdad? La introducción, no sé si vieron, chicos, queridos estudiantes. ¿Sí vieron la introducción? El ejemplo de introducción. ¿Sí lo vieron? Do you understand? The introduction part, Stephanie? Do you understand the introduction part? Knock, knock. Are you there? Laura?
Yes, miss, I am here.
Okay. Gabriel, are you there? Laura, can you please read the introduction, please?
Okay, miss, but I can see. I don't know. Oh, it's better. It's better now. Thank you.
Okay.
The introduction.
This part.
Okay. Paste on the board vocabulary flashcards without the name words. Ask to describe them. Ask some students to match the name with the correct picture and definition. Paste those words on a big paper. Motivated students tell sentences using each vocabulary word. Underline the new words.
And this is the activity. This is the production. Laura, read the production. Work in group.
Okay, work in group. Divide a class in groups and give them a chart with some words written. Students have to write a paragraph using these words. When they finish, they have to show you. After, to correct the mistakes, they have to draw a picture related, and to finish, the students have to expose their jobs.
That is a work group. Aquí en la planificación, queridos estudiantes, aquí ponen, colocamos, usted puede especificar si va a ser un work in groups, si va a ser individually o work in pairs. Usted en su lesson plan, en su production, en la actividad, Usted, este sería su production, ¿verdad? Usted va a poner si es un individually work, pair work o working groups. Lo especifica. Es bueno especificar cómo lo va a hacer para la persona que lo va a revisar. Entonces, divide the class. Aquí pueden poner, ahí es como que le ponen teacher divides the class, el profesor divide la clase, por lo general siempre se pone así. Teacher divides the class in groups and give them a chart with some words written. A student have to write a paragraph using this word. Miren, aquí ya les hace hacer como un párrafo. A student have to write a paragraph using this word. When they finish, they have to show you. O when they finish, porque aquí están hablando diferente, ¿no? Entonces, when they finish, they have to show, when they finish, they have to show the teacher. After to correct the mistake, they have to draw a picture related on to finish, students have to expose their jobs, ¿ok? Luego, que hace, dice que tiene que los estudiantes exponer sus trabajos, ¿no? El párrafo. Puede hacerlo, obviamente, este sería aquí, dentro de la actividad, chequear que, o sea, usted está monitoreando, chequeando cómo hicieron los párrafos, ¿verdad? Y el feedback closing, como les dije, que a veces el feedback closing puede ser para reforzar una vez que ya chequeó también en clase el trabajo que aquí eran los párrafos, ¿no? Trabajaron en grupo haciendo párrafos. El feedback closing puede ser el deber. El deber aquí dice que es write a paragraph using at least 8 words of the new vocabulary. Write a paragraph, ¿no? Y también le hace, para que usted avance con la unidad, una página de libro, ¿no? Acá también, miren, acá le hacíamos la última parte, aquí estábamos, aquí lo que les decía. Porque obviamente usted le hace hacer el trabajo, pero también tiene que avanzar con el libro. Homework, practice book, y le pone la página, ¿no? ¿Ustedes planifican así, Gabriela? Stephanie? Laura? ¿En sus colegios les piden planificaciones?
Yes, miss.
Coméntenme, ¿les revisan así o ustedes planifican? Porque, como les digo, en el colegio que yo estaba, ni me ponían planificar. En este colegio de acá que les estoy mostrando, que es el modelo, 2 compañeras que hacíamos, nos pedían así, la planificación semanal, o sea, teníamos que planificar. No sé si ustedes les piden así también, planificación semanal, o algunos colegios no les piden. Estefanía, ¿a ti te piden? Estefanía. Esa es una vocabulary class. Les acabo de enseñar una clase de vocabulario. Verá que esta semana hasta la próxima el miércoles vamos a hacer una clase de reading, una lesson plan de reading, lo van a hacer en clase. De ahí la próxima vamos a hacer una de writing. Entonces, por eso estoy haciendo ejemplos. Porque si le piden algún día hacer una clase de reading, tiene que saber. Lourdes, a ti te piden planificar, tú me dices que estabas reemplazando, ¿verdad? Pero te pedían hacer la planificación, algunos colegios no piden, solo piden el annual plan.
Planificación semanal, sí.
Como está aquí.
No por destreza, no por destreza.
Ah, no por destreza. Claro, aquí
Por lo general, lo que está en el libro.
O sea, el colegio no está separado, o sea, es un colegio que no enseña por destreza. Acá, sí fui a un colegio que enseñaban por destreza. O sea, yo por seguridad tenía que hacer el lunes la clase de vocabulario, siguiente el reading, ¿no? Pero igual ya saben, o sea, si les toca ya hacer una clase de reading porque le tocó el reading del libro, o sea, ya saben cómo hacer la clase de reading, ¿no? Entonces aquí tenemos la big question y tenemos que la big question les decía que según la unidad, no, nosotros le poníamos la big question en la semana, cuál era la pregunta de la semana. Entonces iba conectado obviamente con el reading. Entonces aquí está la clase de reading. Tenemos 3 horas de reading. Y esta era mi motivation. Gabriela, ya no se nos acaba un poquito la hora, pero para seguir mañana, el día miércoles. Gabriela. Gabriela. Laura, can you please read the motivation in the reading class?
Okay, motivation. Sing the song Many Cultures, Many Ways.
That's good. That will be a motivation for a reading class. Introduction. Lourdes, can you please read the introduction?
Introduction. Paste on the board vocabulary flashcards without the name words as to describe them.
No,
As
¿cuál
some
estás
students-
leyendo? Esta de aquí. Write the word. Esta.
Okay, sorry.
Sí.
Introduction. Write the word pimple on the board and children have to do a brainstorm about it. Write the responses on a big paper using the idea web with the words pimple in the center. Use their prior knowledge to understand that the pimple is another student that children write letters to and often do not meet in person. Use pictures to associate the word pimple and help them to understand better. Or you can use a photo of a friend to model what a pimple is.
That's an example of motivation. ¿Verdad? Write the word pimple. The teacher have the student. The teacher makes a brainstorm of idea. Got the words that the student say. Use the prior knowledge. So it's a brainstorm, right? It's a brainstorm about that. The teacher use pictures, right? Or the teacher can use photo of a friend to model what is a pen pal, right? So the teacher in this introduction are using all the resources to make a student comprehend what is a pen pal, what is the meaning of pen pal, right? The teacher make a big paper using a web and everything. Okay, that is an introduction. Are you there? Creo que se me cortó algo acá. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Look at this. Make a student look at page. Ese es el libro, ¿no? Que también les hace ver, porque tienen que basar con el libro, obviamente tienen que ver el libro. Make a student look at page. Ask the student read the title and they look at the picture. Read the title and look at write their prediction. Mira, aquí está lo que tanto hemos hablado en la clase de reading, ¿no verdad? Write their prediction. Ask question about what is the picture? What is the title? What is the heading of this? What do you think is the heading of this reading? Okay. Make a student look at each page. Ahí le ponen la página. Read page by page. Stop on each page and check comprehension. Entonces, en la clase de reading de los chicos, de los niños, de las escuelas, entonces hay que parar siempre. Stop on each page and check the comprehension en cada párrafo. Make a student identify the author, characters, and setting. Cuando son niños, cuando están en las escuelas, siempre hagan la dinámica, incluir en la clase de reading la dinámica de ponerles en el pizarrón who is the author, characters, and setting. Ellos tienen que saber ya como rutina. Usted hágale un cuadrito o de pronto ya tenga el cuadro hecho en la sala. Haga un cuadro que lo hace con cartulinas de colores y le pone esa cinta, le pone la cinta que es para escribir encima. No sé cómo se llama, chicos, queridos estudiantes. Es una cinta que se puede escribir con marcador borrable. Papel contact, creo que se llama. Entonces yo solía hacer con cartulina, le ponía papel contact, entonces ponía, por ejemplo, se puede poner author, character, setting, entonces era borrable. Cada vez que veíamos una historia, ellos me decían los nombres y yo ponía, ¿no? Cada vez que teníamos una nueva historia se podía borrar y volvió, ¿no? Creo que ya son las 10. El miércoles vamos a seguir con este ejemplo y necesito que ustedes tengan listo su libro, su reading, para poder hacer una planificación de reading, ¿ya? Y con las estrategias que hemos aprendido. Si tienen otra estrategia, también la podemos hacer, ¿ya? Pero sí voy a pedir otra vez una de las que hemos visto, ¿ya? Si tengo una por ahí más que explicar, les puedo dar. Entonces, this is all for today. I'm going to put the attendance. Es necesario, sí se va a calificar estas prácticas, ¿no? Se va a calificar. Igual ya están entregadas notas, pero sí quiero saber cómo están. Voy a revisar cómo hacen su planificación. Es importante que sepan diferenciar qué es una clase de reading, qué es una clase de grammar, estoy completamente segura. Cómo hacen bien una clase de reading, cómo hacen bien una clase de writing. No es difícil, pero sí unas pautas que hay que seguir, ¿ya? Y también cómo deben de redactar una planificación. No, como les decía, por ahí ponían, creo que hay que, algunos ponían, creo que hay que hacerlo, o yo lo haría de este modo, les relataban en la motivación. Pero recuerden que hay que hacerla como debe ser, como puse por acá. Teachers divide the class in group. Teacher asks student tal cosa. Entonces, de la manera que le van a pedir. Okay, this is all for today. So have a nice night. Okay. See you next Wednesday.
See you, Miss.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Picture. Oh, okay.
Bye, me.
Bye-bye.